All right, so what's the next one on the list? Let's see here. The Milky Way, directed by Rudolph Ising and produced by Fred Quimby. Holy cow! Walt Disney didn't win this year. In 1940, at the 13th awards, like basically almost 10 years later, Walt Disney finally lost, and Fred Quimby won for the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is, well, it's basically the three little kittens who lost their mittens storyline with, a lot of slapstick and good music. In fact, it feels very, very similar to Tom and Jerry, almost like it was a prototype for Tom and Jerry. This is definitely interesting. Look, I'm just happy that Disney lost one. Is it significantly better than the previous Disney films? No, probably not. But this is cute. I enjoy this, and it's kind of a weird one to find. The most recent release of it is on the Broadway Melody 1940 Blu-ray from Warner Archive Collection. I don't know what it has to do with that movie, but oh well. At least it's available, I suppose. But hey, you know what? Disney lost, Quimby won. Maybe it'll start looking a little different from now on. Now, for the next year, the Academy actually did something very interesting. They allowed 10 nominees to be in the category. They have never done this for the next several years. They would go between 6 to 7 before finally settling on a solid 3 or 5. But this was by far the greatest variety that the Best Animated Short category had featured up to this day. And Walt Disney won it again with Lend a Paw. Now, the funny thing is some people like to say, oh, so see, a Mickey Mouse cartoon did win the Oscar for Best Animated Short. And no, it didn't. Technically, this is a Pluto cartoon, and Mickey is definitely a cameo character at best. And the conflict revolves around Pluto basically having to fight his angel and devil consciences on whether or not to be friendly to a new kitten or whether to not be. I have to say, it's a really cute short. Would I have given one of the other shorts in this category the award? Probably, but this is a pretty good one. Now, the following year, the world was officially in World War II, and that meant a lot of World War II propaganda shorts, and so Walt Disney's De Führer's Face won this one. And I am not going to lie, this is one of the greatest shorts ever written. It not only works as propaganda, but it's funny, it has a catchy as heck song, and yeah, gotta be totally upfront, there are a lot of German stereotypes. I mean, this is basically a no-hold-barrel attack on Adolf Hitler and his crazy dream of what Nazi Germany would look like. And, it's been argued for a while that maybe Mickey should have been the subject of this because Hitler hated Mickey and everything he stood for. At the same time, Donald Duck's reactions to basically going mad and crazy over having to make these bombs is so hilarious. And yeah, the final shot of him kissing the Statue of Liberty might be considered overkill by a lot of people. But again, it was a propaganda short. This is what they were making at the time. And my account, or as I would think, this is a great short. This, even with the offensive elements in it, there was a lot to love about the short and to understand why Americans would be galvanized by shorts like this to support their country. However, the following few years would steer away from politics and the war effort, with the first of several Tom and Jerry shorts winning Best Animated Short. This one is the Yankee Doodle Mouse, and story-wise, there really isn't much. It's just Tom and Jerry doing what they do. Even though it is the 11th short of the Tom and Jerry series, this is definitely a great introduction because this is the definitive Tom and Jerry cartoon experience. Lots of slapstick, lots of weapons, and Jerry getting the best of Tom. And the most unique thing about the end of the short is Jerry writing a letter basically asking for more cats, suggesting that, at least in this specific case, Jerry is totally being a jerk here. He just loves torturing Tom, and, I think that's really clever. Now, the following year, Mouse Trouble won, which was another Tom and Jerry short, this one involving Tom buying a book to help him try to catch Jerry. Maybe he's feeling a little slighted that Jerry has been torturing him just for fun and wants to fight back a little bit. Who knows, but it continues with more hijinks and fun times. It's funny. I mean, it's Tom and Jerry. What's not to love? And then the following year, another Tom and Jerry short won, this one called Quiet Please, where Spike the dog, and no, I'm not sure if this is his first appearance. If you're a big Tom and Jerry fan, let me know in the comments below. It feels like his first appearance, but I can't tell you for sure. Well, he basically threatens to beat up Tom the cat if he doesn't keep quiet, and Jerry, being the jerk that he is, keeps making noise, knowing full well Tom will get blamed for it, even if Tom isn't actually making the noise. This is definitely one of those shorts where I kind of wonder, why did I root for Jerry as a kid? Jerry is such a pain in the butt. He is so mean. I don't know, just something I'm thinking about right now. The following year, Tom and Jerry wins again, and yeah, if you saw Walt Disney winning consistently with getting annoying, imagine Tom and Jerry, who it's basically the same premise every time, winning like several years in a row. Although I'm not gonna lie, the Cat Concerto is one of the best of the Tom and Jerry shorts. It has the slapstick, it has the music. This is the perfect Tom and Jerry cartoon as far as I'm concerned. I mean, even though it's the 4th consecutive win, and thus this video might be feeling a little repetitive at this point because of that, the Cat Concerto, like, if I can only recommend one Tom and Jerry short, this is probably the one I would recommend, so I totally understand why it won. But hey, after 4 consecutive wins, Tom and Jerry took a break when Tweety Pie won the award. And even though this was not Tweety Bird's first appearance, that would be A Tale of Two Kitties that had the Abbott and Costello parody. Yes, I actually know who they are. No, I'm not 70. Don't I've heard that joke before. Well, Tweety Pie was, however, the first short that featured Tweety and Sylvester, although Sylvester is called Thomas the Cat in this cartoon. And, well, here's the funny thing. Even though it's not Tom and Jerry, it sure feels like Tom and Jerry, and the Academy just really had a thing for cat and mouse shorts, and now it's a cat chasing a bird. This is just what they were awarding at the time, I suppose. So, it's definitely a cute short. It's a historic for Looney Tunes. Not my favorite, but, it was pretty good. The following year, Tom and Jerry was back again with The Little Orphan, though a okay Tom and Jerry short. At this point, I'm having a hard time thinking of new things to say about these shorts. This one features Nibbles, a young mouse with an insatiable appetite, and I guess that's funny for a while, especially since this seems to be one of the few times where Jerry doesn't want to go to war with Tom, but because Nibbles keeps going out in the open eating things, well, war must happen, and so, it's funny. It features all the Tom and Jerry shenanigans, but let's just say there were definitely better shorts nominated this year than this one. Alright, it's time to end the 1940s with 4 sentimental reasons, and yes, this is a Pepe Le Pew short, and I forgot if this is the first Pepe Le Pew short. I know it was the debut of Penelope Pussycat, and the story involves Pepe being in a perfume shop and the owner wanting him out, so he throws Penelope in there because she's a cat to get rid of the skunk, and Penelope ends up looking like a skunk, and Pepe falls madly in love with her, and I guess we're still talking about shorts like this to this day because Pepe Le Pew has been a huge source of controversy ever since this short came out, and in more recent times, especially with the Me Too movement. And I just need to make something very clear with this one. Penelope isn't running away from Pepe because he's being aggressive. She's running away from him because he stinks. And at the end of the short when she loses her smell temporarily and sees Pepe without the stench, basically, she falls madly in love with him. So that's why he's called Pepe Le Pew, because he's a skunk and he stinks. At the same time, this is not the greatest short in the world. The 40s were kind of a weak decade for this category, with the exception of DeFear's Face. But hey, we're entering the 50s, right? So things can only improve.